Championship. The champion, Hangman Adam Page versus Adam Cole. Too many Adams. I suggest Adam Cole changes his name to Buddy Cole.
Then there's too many buddies.
Then there's too many buddies. So then you change Buddy Matthews' name to Brian Matthews. Now there's too many Brians.
No.
Yeah, too many Cages, too many Adams, too many. There's just too
drop.
much.
You just
have an Adam on a pole match. You just have a contract, right to the name. You do an Adam on a pole. Yeah, that's my name.
Cole versus Page. You don't even give them first names anymore.
Oh, that interesting technique.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, never heard that.
So instead of getting rid of the last names, we're going to get rid of
first names.
Okay.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cole versus Page. Oh shit, which Page? Yeah, so
good shit, pal.
So the talking point that a lot of people have been talking about, because it's a talking point, I guess, has Adam Page's championship run been lackluster or not? Gentlemen, debate.
I wouldn't say lackluster in I think what he's done has been phenomenal. I just don't think it's been enough. Like when Omega had the title, he was on every single week in some kind of spot doing something, but there are times that we just don't see Adam Page on screen, or if it is, it's very minuscule stuff. It's not like, so I wouldn't say, like I said, because I think the stuff he did with Danielson was awesome. That match he had with Lance Archer was fantastic. And I think he's playing it up as, I want to be out here every week. I want to be doing stuff. They're just not, I don't know what it is. I don't know why Tony Khan doesn't feel like, because everybody loves Adam Page. He was the one from the beginning that we thought was going to be the world champion. Why you're not featuring him more? He's incredibly over. He's fantastic. He's hitting all the right points, and we're just like, it's like an afterthought almost. Like this isn't even the biggest match on this card.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like not even close.
I also think the moment of Hangman winning the title was a 3-year story. So that moment was so gigantic of a moment that, and I agree. Lackluster, I think, is strong. I agree more with what Pluggo said. I don't think it's been lackluster. I think the things that he's been involved in have been good. Like the Lance Archer stuff was what it was. Like everyone knew he wasn't going to lose to Lance Archer, but the match itself was a brutal, entertaining match. So it is what it is. But like the two matches with Danielson were excellent. The second one I thought was better than the hour draw by far a little bit, but like they were both really, really good matches. I expect this match with the caliber of these two gentlemen to be excellent. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't say lackluster, but I think the moment of him winning the title was so long in the making and such a special moment. Like that's a moment that AEW will hit and bank on for throughout the history of AEW. And I think almost anything afterwards was going to feel like a letdown, because that moment of him winning was so, yes, the chase was just so good and long and layered. It was excellent storytelling and lasted over 2 years. So I think that's kind of part of it as well, as I feel like that moment happened. We were like, holy crap, it happened. He's the champion. And then it was kind of like, well, now what?
Mm-hmm.
And the Adam Cole, on the other hand, absolutely lackluster. I mean, he's over goofing off with his friends. What a bum! Why would you want to ever goof off with your friends?
Why would you put your world title on someone that's so small? He's tiny, like a dad bod.
Yeah, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
The wrestling community has a terrible understanding of what a dad bod is.
They really do.
I would kill for an Adam Cole dad bod.
Jesus Christ, right? It's like it's like, oh, is that a dad bod? Sweet. Or it's like, oh my God, what am I doing?
Yeah. For real. Unbelievable. I do feel like this past Wednesday on Dynamite, I felt, and we talked about it earlier with the Kingston Jericho stuff for me. I do feel like the segment that they had at the end of the Battle Royal this past Wednesday on Dynamite was a segment that fully made me like, okay, I want to see this match. I mean, obviously I want to see the match. I love both the guys. Adam Cole is one of my favorites in the world.
Sure.
And I love Hangman. But so it's one of those things, and this is what AEW does. Like regardless of the stories, like I know the match is going to be good. I know what I'm preparing to watch. It's going to be a fantastic match. I do feel like this past Wednesday was the first time where that segment happened at the end of the Battle Royal. And I was like, okay, I want to see this match now. That was the one that sold me the ticket to wanting to see that match. And that's just kind of how I feel. I feel like it was kind of like, oh, Adam Cole's going to be the next guy. They're positioning him. Hasn't done a ton, but like they're positioning him. He cut a good promo 2 weeks ago. And then last week they did that segment where they kind of got a little bit physical. And I love seeing Hangman come out with the Bucks out there again, because we haven't seen them a ton since Hangman's become. So I love that. And I love the Bucks kind of being like, yeah, have at it, buddy. Here, beat up Adam Cole's friends, like all you, brother. And it's just, the layer, again, storytelling. AEW is good with layering their stuff. It makes sense. And that is what got me like invested. Like, not only do I know that match is going to be good, but now I want to see it. So.
And of course, Adam Cole, the Bucks had mentioned like anybody but Page. Like we don't want to mess with that. So that adds the new wrinkle. Like, where do your if Adam Cole wins this thing, where's your allegiances lie with the Young Bucks? And then the Young Bucks, when Kenny comes back, will have to answer to like, where are your allegiances? Are you with Adam Cole now? Or you were with me? Like, it's good stuff. It's good stuff, and I hope the match delivers as much as the story has for me so far. That's all I can say. And I hope they don't get too crazy with having Red Dragon come out and the Bucks and then Dark Order, and it gets too convoluted as it has on TV so far. I really just want to see these two just go at it for 20 minutes, and a winner is a winner. And then they tell the story afterwards.
Yeah. And I know he had the interview with Meltzer, and I believe it was said, they were aiming for a February return for Omega, but it got kind of delayed a little bit. Do we think there's a chance that we see a returning Omega somewhere, maybe not in a physical capacity, but like showing up at the end or whatever, with all these figures that he's very much, once he comes back, he's going to be in the middle of? Do we potentially think that that's on the table?
I wouldn't be surprised. Like if they're working us, like, I think sometimes wrestling fans take a lot of interviews and stuff that wrestlers say too literally, and forget that wresslers lie.
Yeah.
No.
All they do is work.
They do.
That's part of the. Yeah.
It's part of the.
This is real. This is real.
Real to me. Damn it.
Damn it, Warren.
Sorry. Here's the there. I just pulled the blinds, and the blinds all came down, and then you get like this gleam of pure white light. No, but I wouldn't be surprised. Like, here's the last few pay-per-views, right, have always finished on these very high, very exciting, very newsworthy events, right? What?
Except for last year's.
No, I said the last few, right?
Yeah, the last few.
Yeah.
Jesus, you gotta be precise on everything, right? No nuance in anything.
It's hard to work with this guy, Warren.
God damn, man.
It's hard.
So that's one thing that's been racking my brain, is like, what could you do that would be like a holy shit moment, not unlike Adam Cole and Danielson debuting on the same night, not unlike that. I mean, that's hard to top, right? Let's be honest. Yeah. But Hangman Page winning the title, holy shit, it's like, So what is your here? What is the thing that when everything comes to an end, unless, like, it could be just the strength of the match, where you see something that just absolutely blows your mind, because we know Page and we know Cole have it in them to just deliver something mind-blowing. We know that they're both world class, both of them. So we know there's something there. And I think they have a lot to prove. I think both of them have a lot to prove in this match because of the rumblings about Page's thing. Can Adam Page have a good match without Kenny Omega, without Bryan Danielson? Because let's be honest, it's hard to not have a 5-star match.
Right.
Correct.
With Kenny Omega and Bryan Danielson.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So can he do it?
I'd at least get 3 stars.
Danielson could carry me to a 2.
Yeah,
I'd weigh him down. Like I'd weigh him down.
Yeah.
That's the thing, he's doing shit, and I'm like, ow, Daniel, stop! What are you doing?
Get off me.
And I, you know, you'd think that a guy like Adam Cole as well would probably have a lot to prove too, because you know he's in for the long haul. He came in on a proper salary. Like, I'm sure he's not making $25 an appearance. You know, it's like he has to prove his salt as well. I think an undercurrent of this is how much both of these guys have to prove, because you don't have Kenny Omega in this. You don't have CM Punk. You don't have Bryan Danielson. You don't have Jon Moxley. You don't have like the big the names that you're usually associating with 5-star match.
Yep.
You've got two guys who are world championship, world class material, main eventing without any of the sure values, I guess, you know. I think there's going to be a lot of hunger. There's going to be a lot of that in this match from both of these guys, because I kind of think both of these guys have a little chip on their shoulder. They want to show Tony. It's like, Tony, stop playing with your fucking action figures and look at us.
For Page, he got that moment with the 60-minute time limit draw, but we were more impressed with, everybody was talking about, we were just surprised he could go 60 minutes. It wasn't on his morals, right? Yeah, so to your point, yeah, I think you're right. I think there's going to be a lot of hunger. Two guys, and Adam Cole has a lot to prove leaving the WWE. Let's be honest, he was a made man there. Like, he had all the belts.
He had a great manager spot waiting for him.
I was gonna say, he was gonna be a manager. Like, he was.
Yeah, and I mean, he could have hung out with Keith Lee. That would have been great.
Yeah,
I meant NXT. You stick, not coming back at me. Like,
that NXT.
Listen,
dead,
I was
brother.
talking about NXT. You know, he was a made man, but no, but he has his detractors. Oh, you know, he's just the next WWE guy. So he'll show out. It's gonna be good.
So, Warren, you were saying, like, what's going to be that moment at the end of the show? And we're going to talk about who we think's going to win, but do we think the moment could be Red Dragon and Adam Cole having all the gold standing across from the Young Bucks and a returning Kenny Omega in the ring? Is that an moment? Again, I don't want to disservice Hangman because I love Hangman. But AEW, and this has been a story too, is AEW so far in their young history, they've only had 4 world champions. They've all had long reigns. And there hasn't been a short. I do too, but there hasn't been a shorter reign of a champion yet. Hangman won it in November. March is 4 months. Shorter compared to the other title reigns.
I see where you're going.
But do we potentially see? Because look, regardless of how Adam Cole has been presented from an in-ring standpoint, a record standpoint, the bottom line is the dude came in with one of the biggest pops you'll ever hear. The dude gets one of the biggest pops every week when his music hits. He's super over. Do we think there's a chance here that Adam Cole wins the title? Like, do we think that's a realistic possibility? Do we see our first kind of shorter AEW title reign with Hangman? And then, like, to me, that's a visual that ends the show. If you have Adam Cole and his buddies, the Undisputed Era, the Red Dragon and Adam Cole with all the gold again, which we hadn't seen. It's not like it's been super far since we've seen them with all the gold before somewhere else. And then, the Young Bucks are kind of in there. And I'm sure with the tag match that happens earlier, if the Young Bucks are involved, like we all think they're going to be, maybe there's a little bit of that. And then we see Kenny come back, and we got the Elite in the Undisputed Era looking across from each other with the Era with all the gold, and the Elite's like, this is our company. This is our company, guys. And maybe that is a big moment that gets people talking.
I really don't hate that. That's really interesting.
I don't want to just dismiss Hangman and be like, oh, Hangman had the title, now he's gone, we're on to this, because I think Hangman deserves a little better than that. But that, to me, if that's the visual ending the show, that's a pretty good visual.
And on top of that, we're going to be due for a Blood and Guts match soon, a War Games match, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And War Games was the Undisputed Era's thing in NXT. Mm-hmm. And who would be the factions right now that you'd toss into a War Games match, right? It's like
Hardy Family Office.
Hardy Family Office versus Team Taz.
Why did you bring your friend over, Joe?
I got to deal with him every week. This is once in a while for you. I got to deal with him every week.
but
did you mean to only send the invite to JPJ?
That'll be the next one.
And Joe says, "Well, I know this guy. He's we're teaching him how to be social." And but the chat, I started a poll earlier, and in the live chat says that 62% feel that Adam Cole is going to retain, and I feel it's like I'm surprised.
Adam Cole's going to retain.
Sorry, Adam Page is going to retain.
Too many Adams.
By the way, this is the onset of the stroke. This is my long-term storytelling. This is the onset of my stroke, FYI. I feel it's low. Because it's interesting that we're thinking about it in this perspective. That because I would have felt like a Hangman Page landslide. So no, Page continues. It's too soon for Page, so on and so forth. But there are Joe made a very compelling argument for a very compelling story moving forward. A little faction war, a little divisiveness, a little. You like that stuff, and I mean, here's a legitimate question: Is Adam Page? Here we go. Is he more compelling as a chase? Right,
I agree.
Like Dusty Rhodes. No one really cared for Dusty Rhodes as NWA champion. What people were invested in was Dusty Rhodes running after Harley Race, after Ric Flair. That's what people were excited about.
Yeah. And I think, and if we talk about blood and guts, like it's very easily, if you want to do Elite versus Cole in this group, I don't know who would end up being the other two. They usually do 5-on-5, but you could very easily give the Good Brothers a call and be like, hey, come fight with the Bucks and Kenny. 5. That's our 5.
Jay White.
And then, Jay White with Adam Cole. So that's 4. So then you just need really a 5th guy. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's Hangman down the line. Who the hell knows? Yeah, but it's possible, right? So Hangman and Omega, I don't think their feud just ended with Hangman. Like, you know what I mean? Like they have a history. Like it could be. Because I do agree with you. I do feel like AEW, when it comes to the pay-per-views, they know that their people are paying $50 or $60 to watch them. They usually have those big moments to end the shows. And I do think Adam Cole and Adam Page, like you said, Warren, the match alone could end up being that big moment because with those two guys, they could have that caliber of a match. But if you're going to continue the trend of, hey, how do we get people talking about us leading into Dynamite next week? Well, that story, because when was the last time we saw Omega? He cut that little promo before Dynamite after he lost the title. He said, hey, I'm leaving this here with you. And Adam Cole was like, oh, no worries, I got you. And he was like, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the Bucks.
I was talking to these
talking to the Bucks. Yeah. So we already, and that was like, all of us knew that's where they were going. Like eventually it's going to be Cole versus Omega. And that's what they're doing. Well, if Cole gets a victory and is the champion, Cole versus Omega, when Omega comes back, and then you add in the layer of Red Dragon there now and the Young Bucks. And that, I mean, it's a no-brainer of a story if they go that way,
So what happens? Who wins? This is the critical moment, guys.
I think I just talked myself into that story, so I'm going to go with Adam Cole, baby. That's what I'm gonna do.
Baby. I was leaning Adam Cole as well. I'm gonna roll with that. I think there's something endearing about Hangman not having a 2-year-long title run, right? I think that's what we love about him, the chase.
But do we want him to have a 4-month title run, though?
You can't.
He could still lose at Double or Nothing 3 months from now and still be a short reign.
He could be the first 2-time.
He could be the first 2-time guy.
You can't always have 500-day title reigns. You got to throw some 4-monthers in there too. And Mick Foley, one of my favorites. I mean, he held the title for 28 total days. We don't ever, you know what I mean? And eventually you'll just talk about him as a champ. So Adam Cole gets it done. I like your story, JPJ. You talked me into it. So
sorry.
I'm gonna hope that happens. If it doesn't happen,
do we think? But all right. So Warren, I know you're gonna give us your pick, but do we think it would be too soon, or is Adam Cole? Did he come over with enough gravitas of who he is that it doesn't? He's one of those guys that doesn't matter. Because he has been a world champion basically everywhere else he's ever been for the most part, multiple times, some places. So does he come in with that where like even though he's only been here for 6 months now or whatever, it's not too soon? Or do we feel like if he were to win, it would be too soon?
I'm very torn because I think both decisions have value. I really do think both decisions have value. It depends on what you do after. And I think that's what's critical. Because I think, like, my gut reflex is to say, Hangman Page, it's too soon. It's his first pay-per-view defense. He cannot. He can't. But he also could. Because it makes perfect sense in an Adam Cole environment for him to lose the title on his first defense. Him being Adam Page, of course. Losing his title on his first defense. And Adam Cole just suddenly out of nowhere is the champion. And maybe there's a lot of the booker in this saying, look, you guys think he sucks? You think he's not? Here, look, I just made a new champion. It's my company. It's my choice.